had to do something. He sat there all week and told lie after lie to suit his bullshit narrative. Brave. More like a brave fool. He's clever, manipulative, credible. They believe him, not me. My own faculty dean, Professor Asage, is giving me dirty looks. The Ajike Association is just an organization using my situation to make a name for itself. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Rated Rachael, and it's your girl Rachael, and here Rachael, share my unsolicited thoughts and opinions about movies and TV shows that I love. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Citation, the new Netflix movie that just came out November the 6th, just yesterday, literally. And today I'm going to be telling you all about the series. So grab your cup of coffee or your tea, because there's definitely going to be spoilers. Do I never not give spoilers? I'm going to be giving spoilers. Sorry. So let's get started, because this kind of movie is the kind of thing I used to like. I used to love it, you know, especially when we have a female protagonist that is a winner. You know what I'm saying? Hair on fleek. So as you can see, guys, I managed to put together this outfit to look like our star lead, Moremi Oluwa, acted by Temi Otedola. So Citation follows the story of a bright student in a Nigerian university who finds herself in a dire situation of being subjected to sexual harassment by her lecturer. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. Basically, you can already tell that this kind of movie is going to be juicy in terms of all the drama that is going to happen, and somehow it gives you the perspective of what actually happens in the minds of predators, lecturers that can't keep their thing in their pants and looking out for young girls to take advantage of and sort of put them in a situation where they have to request for more grades. If you want grades, you want sex. And let's talk about the movie in itself, Citation. And it's a Kunle Afolayan movie. I did not expect anything less, honestly, because it's Kunle Afolayan and he's always been doing amazing movies back to back. If you are familiar with Kunle Afolayan's work, body of work, you know that there's usually a sad ending. There's always a sad ending. But you see, for Citation, it was very different. Like, it ended just the way I wanted it to end. So sorry, I'm gonna give you spoilers. So let's start from the beginning of the movie in itself. If you didn't, when it comes to storytelling in itself, it was very beautiful for me to see. I mean, we already knew what the movie was all about. We already somehow, if you watch the trailer, you already knew that a student accused a lecturer of rape and all that kind of good stuff. But in the opening scene where they were able to sort of like set the precedent for the events that are eventually going to happen like 2 years after, it was fascinating to see that these issue of being sexually harassed by a lecturer has been happening within the institution over time, and eventually, like, it never usually always ends well in the case of the students, because most of the time they get threatened by the lecturer. And if you are familiar with the story that broke out last year, where Kiki Mordi, a journalist in Nigeria, actually went undercover with a couple of other reporters to open up and expose the fact that these incidences are actually happening in our very backyard. And it's an incident that has always happened in institutions within Nigeria. You hear of students being literally like afraid to go visit a lecturer's office. I remember when I was in the university and I had some of my classmates who were pretty scared of going to see a particular lecturer, and I never understood why, because I was never in that position where a lecturer would like me to the extent that he demands sex for grades. But I always heard about it, and I was like, God, please, I don't want to be in this kind of situation, because I would just be literally so embarrassed and I wouldn't be able to say anything about it. So to see justice prevailing in this movie, it was just giving me this kind of high, this high, like, yes, 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 yes. You know, honestly, when I even finished watching the movie, I was screaming, yes, yes, yes. I was so ecstatic. So let's talk about the movie in itself, the acting. The acting was particularly flawless. I mean, Temi Otedola brought her A game. I mean, you know, we have always known her as a billionaire, but you see, see, I'm now a fan. I'm not a Temi Otedola fan because she acted beautifully well. To be honest, I didn't expect that much, but you know, I really wanted to see what she was going to do because a lot of people there was a lot of hype around it. The fact that, okay, it's Temi Otedola now, Abby, we want to see what she's going to bring. And you know, her speaking French in the movie even made it very lovely. I mean, I think I want to speak French now, you know? Au revoir, bonjour, bonjour professeur, monsieur Lucien. And let's talk about the acting. So Temi Otedola was amazing. Jimmy John Lewis, the guy who acted the role of the professor, the Iniedo, what his name, Gabriel Afolayan, who acted the role of Koyejo. We've also got Joke Silva, and Professor Ibukun Awosika. Immediately I saw Professor Ibukun Awosika, I was so happy. Like, let me tell you the people that actually inspired me to watch this movie. The fact that it was a Kunle Afolayan movie, and the fact that I saw Mrs. Ibukun Awosika in the movie, I was already like, damn, this is definitely on my must-watch list because Mrs. Ibukun Awosika, she's a pioneer. The fact that she even came as herself, I was actually impressed. Like, stand-up woman. So this is a movie that you definitely want to see. The movie's overarching theme surrounds the power of control, the abuse of power, manipulation, love, decision, and setting boundaries, most especially. Because there are aspects of the movie where I was thinking, so there was a scene where we found Moremi in the office of the professor, where she went to go and, you know, find out about her dissertation, and the man started talking about her sex life. And sometimes you find yourself in a situation whereby an older man is beginning to, you know, try to peer into what is happening in areas that he's not, it's areas that he's not supposed to, and it's usually very creepy. I feel like 1 out of every 5 Nigerian girls has experienced this sort of harassment whereby an older man is already asking, what about your boyfriend? You know, how do you like riding your horse? All those kind of, you know, weird, gross stuff. And I actually wrote it down in my notes. You know, there was a part where, give me one moment, let me find it. Okay, there was a part in the office where the man was talking about, you know, how she rides and how that riding horse. I just immediately said that. I was like, gross, ew. And even when they traveled to Cape Verde, and he followed her all the way to the seaside and trying to stand by her side, in my mind I was like, girl, you better run. You know this man wants something, you know, you gotta run. And I was feeling like she should be running for the hills, you know. And I know somehow they had to portray her at a very young age in terms of like being, is it 21 or 23 in the movie? I really can't remember now, but they had to portray her in that kind of young age because I know for a fact that when I was 21 and when I was even 20 years old, or within that, you know, age range, my early 20s, I was very, very naive about some things. I was very, very scared, you know, in terms of like expressing myself or rejecting an older person, especially when you don't want to disrespect them. You're kind of like, you're trying to be careful, you know, you're trying to be careful. I don't want this man to think that, you know, I'm being rude, that kind of thing. So I particularly understand her naivety in that retrospect. And trust me, being 21 or 22 in Nigeria is not necessarily a quote unquote. You are mature, you know, you are legal, right? But in terms of the development of your brain, especially if you've always lived under, you know, the 4 walls of mommy and daddy's care, you have no idea what life is out there, especially within the Nigerian context. So I could very well particularly understand her expressions and her feelings at that moment. You know, that expression of shock, like, is this really my professor that's doing this kind of thing to me? And then let's talk about the relationship between Koyejo and Temi herself. I did understand she wanted to pull off this feminist, you know, impression towards him. And I do understand Koyejo's stance because it's literally the way most Nigerian guys will behave anyway. But there were areas where I was thinking that Koyejo, you have to calm down. It's not always like that. You can't just tell her not to, you know, go on a road trip just because she was actually harassed by a lecturer. And even if you wanted to tell her, he didn't do it the right way. You know, he didn't do it in such a way that it will make her not want to go. You know, he made it, it was sort of like this imposing, I mean, I've told you what to do, so you have to do it kind of thing. So it was kind of like trying to impose his power, like I said. So I said the manipulation and control of power is sort of one of the overarching themes in this movie. And you know that is, and also this movie in itself also touches on the expressions of power, how people in position of authority, how they express their power, how they display it, and how they want to, you know, take advantage of it. So let's look at the part where Moremi, she goes all the way to Senegal to, you know, she's doing research, she's trying to find out how she can vindicate herself from this thing that they've accused her of. And she meets his old professor, and the man is, you know, you're vouching for him like he can't do such a thing. Everything he learned from me. So, you know, when immediately the professor said that part where he said everything Lucien learned, he learned from me, I was like, are you trying to tell me that even this aspect of being manipulative and being demanding sex from his students, are you sure he didn't learn that from you too? Maybe. But you know, they left that aspect of it hanging, and I was thinking that maybe he picked it up from his old lecturer. Who knows? So there were actually WTF moments, like what the hell moments for me in the show. The part where he tried to kiss her, I just wanted to slap his face, like, what the fuck? Sorry, I won't slap you. I was like, why? So there were some things that were of concern to me. The fact that Mr. Kwesi actually left her in the house. Like, why would he leave her in the house? Do you get? I feel like they are, I want to assume that they're very close friends. They go to class together, they're in the same tutorial group together. Why would you just assume that she's gone home and she's been in the toilet? Like, guys, you better, you know, watch out for your friends, like that are female sisters. Watch out for them. Don't just assume. And that's the problem with assumption. Assumption is such a wrong thing. I felt like if Kwesi had, you know, tried his best possible to find out if she's still in the house, has she left, she wouldn't have been in that situation. And then also, that lecturer, I don't know. It was already late. I felt like the right thing for him to even naturally do is to even tell her that, okay, babe, it is late, so let me even see you off or something, or come and be going, it's late. Do you get it? Now even said come on, and oh god, all the signs were there. But you know, like I said, it's very difficult, you know, to be 21 and 22 to even understand those kind of things. I'm trying to hurry up. Okay, and then again, another mistake that she made was when she leaned in to hug him. Sister, this man has been expressing feelings towards you. You are still leaning in and hugging him with your boobie.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
That was a foolish decision. I was really very pissed, but that was a very foolish decision. So there were some areas of the movie where I felt like was unnecessary. They should have cut it short. For example, the fighting scene of Koyejo for his black belt. I think it was unnecessarily too long, but you know, I felt like probably they trained Gabriel a lot of times for that scene, and you know, they needed to show his skills and show the fact that he actually did this thing very well. Let us just put it in the movie. But I didn't think it was necessary, but you know, it was good that, you know, they placed it there. I was actually impressed, you know, all his black flips. I was actually impressed. And then there was also a scene during the panel where Dr. Yahaya was talking about the fact that, are you accusing a senior lecturer of the university of attempted rape? I said, yes. She's saying that he raped her, he attempted to rape her. You know, that kind of feeling, it always happens in Nigeria when they're trying to, like I said, expression of power. They're trying to prove their power and authority to you. And if you draw it back towards the ending where Lucien was talking to Uzomaka at the panel and was telling her that, do you know who I am? I have a PhD. Kinikon. He was talking, I have a PhD. He was trying to form Jagaban. And Mrs. Ibukun just fired him back. I am a fellow of Kinikon. I was just like, yes, mama, fire him. Tell him. You know, because of course, as Africans that we are, we love titles and we love these kind of things. Yes, all aspects of me, I was just thinking, why is she so naive? Why is she so naive? And then I thought, yeah, I used to be naive too. Yeah. So please watch out for your younger sisters. Yes, let's talk about pop culture and cultural references. I loved the fact that, you know, small inclinations of wahoo was put into this the movie. even the tone where she says, I don't do lecturers, by her friend Gloria. I didn't understand Gloria's role in the whole events of things. It wasn't explained. I don't know why she did what she did. It wasn't explained. There was some sort of lack of continuity there, but we're just gonna let it slide because it ended well, you know. So there was that. There was also the part of, you know, tapping currents. when you tell a girl like, you're tapping currents, stop tapping currents. Why are you tapping currents? You know what we mean. And then there was also the part where, you know, mind and another lesson I picked up was the ability to mind what you say and always mean what you say. You know, that thing is such an important thing, and the fact that it was so honed in during the course of this movie. And I did love the fact that they were able to show us the connection between, you know, how the relationship between the lecturer and the student actually developed. So girls, please set your boundaries. I beg, don't go and pass your, you know, just set your boundaries basically, because some men are bullshit, as you can see. And there was also the part where how men assume the worst if they find you in a car with another man. And it's not even just men, even women as well. They also judge you once they find you in a car with a man. It is something that is going on. What are you doing with him and all that? And that was all aspects of Koyejo and his impressions and how he was just looking at her. Motinrie, I've been seeing you with that man, the Kakiri campus, and you know, all this kind of thing. And to think that he actually premeditated his plan and actions against the girl. He didn't know that the girl was smarter. I loved so much the comic relief with the twins and, you know, the hugging combined with the soundtrack. I thought it was actually well done, especially with all the tensions that was arising during the course of the story. I think it wasn't overdone. It was overdone, but it wasn't overdone. So when the first thing when it came up, I was like, you know, what are they doing? But then I was like, okay, let us let it slide, you know. At least it gave us something to laugh at, you know, that kind of thing. Then there was also the part where Mr. Kwesi gave an advice to be careful that she's not being used, especially, you know, by the what is it called, the Ajike advocacy. And I think sometimes it just reminded me of these NSAS protests that have actually been going on. Sometimes there's always this idea that there's a hidden agenda and somebody is always going to use it for something, so you have to be literally like be very, very careful. There was also that. I also loved the fact that in terms of casting, was done amazingly well. I like the fact that Iniedo is always that unforgiving friend, you know, that bad friend that is always, you know, doing more than herself. Yeah, so it was really lovely to see. So cultural references, of course, I did like the fusion of Senegalese, Ghanaian, and Cape Verde cultures incorporated into the movie. I did love it so much. I mean, it was nicely done. In conclusion, I was generally like on my toes throughout because of the movie. Like I was always eager to know what is going to happen and how it's going to end. Yes, overall verdict, drum rolls, ding 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 ding. I gave this movie 10 over 10 when I wrote a review on it, but I think I'll still maintain 10 over 10. I think it's a must see, it's a must watch. I really loved it, apart from the Iniedo parts that they missed and Koye just misbehaved. I just wanted to knock his head, but you know, he came through at the end, so we'll leave him be. So thank you so much. If you haven't watched Citation, it's currently streaming on Netflix. And thank you to all our amazing directors, you know, that did such a fantastic job on this movie. Temi Otedola, I'm definitely watching you. I'm definitely going to be seeing more of your projects. So y'all gotta go watch it on Netflix. And I truly hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Comment below aspects of the movie that was your favorite, aspects that you loved, and you know what you thought about it in general. Until we see again in our next video, this is Rachael. We win, we win, we win, we win, we win, we win. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and I will see you in the next episode of Rated Rachael. Poof.